Right, so to go over a few VRay options on your asset editor, I'm going to click on the settings or the settings icon, or it just looks like a gear. And just to make sure that all of our settings are the same, I'm going to reset all of the settings. So down here at the bottom, after you click on the settings, the gear icon down here at the bottom right, you should see the little icon that says revert to default render settings. So I'm going to click that. And it's going to ask me, do I want to revert them? Yes, revert. So now all of the settings are set back to like their default state. I can, if I wanted to, select a different view and click the tea kettle again. And now I've rendered, now all of the rendering should look very similar to this. Just go over a few options. Here again under the settings tab, directly under render, under engine, it has the CPU, which is your computer, like the computer's processor. It has, if you have other options, it's normally the graphics processor. So depending on how fast the graphics card is used, for now I'm just going to leave it as CPU. Here's how to render interactive. I'm going to skip this one for now. Here's one to make it progressive. It's just a different way of rendering. So if I uncheck this and I render it again, I can see a bunch of little like squares that are rendering the object throughout. It does the same thing, progressive or not. So I'm just going to leave it as the default, leave the progressive on. The quality, hopefully it's self-explanatory. If you just move the slider. If you just want like a really fast rendering, I'm just going to do it on low, and I'm going to hit the tea kettle. It'll render it really fast. It won't give you the best quality, but it gives you something really fast. Normally I do this if I'm just doing like a test render. If I want to take a closer look at this, I can click over here on stats and look under here for timing. And I can see how quickly it rendered. The elapsed time is 2.6, sequence time is 3.6. So I can see how fast this rendered. Or I can, if I know that if I want to have like a medium quality rendering, or if I know this is going to be my final rendering and I want like a really nice quality rendering, I can move it all the way to high plus and click render. Obviously, it's going to take longer. It's going to go through a lot more passes. You can see the passes that it's going through down here at the bottom. But it is going to be a much more refined rendering quality. But just be aware that it will take longer. You could already see that it's already up to 26 seconds, almost 30 seconds just to render the same image. Yeah, so almost 32 seconds just to render the exact same image. And just going to like a high quality. I'm going to move this back to medium. Update effects. This is if we have special materials or special lighting. We haven't gone into this yet, so I'm just going to leave this as the default at the end. And this denoiser, I normally don't turn this on until I have my final rendering. What this does is I'm going to turn it on, click render. What it'll do is it'll render your entire image, and then it'll go back and essentially clean up your image. Here you can see that it's going through here. It'll go back through and just clean up your image a little bit better. But again, just keep in mind that it does take some time. But normally by default, I just leave it turned off until I'm ready to render my final image.